hard drive.
It's only clowns like you in the press who continually...
J.
So umpire Kevin Chambers about to get things underway for this big game at Football Park between Port Adelaide and Central District. Fourth up against first. It should be a beauty. Arnold wins the first tap of the match. Ellis whips out the hand pass. It misses the body. Wine goes in. Get one's a bit high. And he's asked to play on. He does so. Kicks well inside 50. Delaney. Oh, he didn't wrap it up, and Cook with a hand pass over the top. It wasn't particularly good. Lee's getting back and boots it through for a force behind.
Yes, I always wonder about those kicking the ball off there for force behinds in the early part of the game. How many times do you see games won by 1 point, and they might be crook on themselves after the game for kicking a point so early?
Delaney with a kick out, always a great kick, beautifully spoiled there by Arnold. Kicked forward. Carter in possession there, knocks it down to the ground. Always good crumbing wind in good position. Been a fine recruit from Fitzroy, and he picks off McGowan. No, beautifully intercepted by Wade, who's just come into the onto the ground. Ridden into the back with Smith, but the umpire's called play on. And the captain in Geneva, always cool under the crisis, gets it forward. And there's Waterhouse.
Here's the kick coming from Wade. Waterhouse's kick well inside the 50. Outstorms Tylor. Tylor round the corner for the first goal. Will it bounce through? No, it won't. McLeod getting back. Hyman there as well, and it's a force through for a behind. Good build up there. Tylor, he's kicked 10 goals so far. Jimmy's been a good replacement, hasn't he, for Hodges?
Well, he kicked 90 goals in the season once before, but it looks as though they're going to make him a target down there. He let out well for that ball, but his kick was slightly offline.
Reimers with the kick out, too high on Mead. Umpire's called to the advantage, played on by Waterhouse, and he's kicked there first. No, hit the post. Well, Jim, there's one thing that the full-backs have to do, is either pick off or go long.
Yes, and Waterhouse is making himself scarce on that half-forward flank there. That was a good shot for goals on the run, but just missed.
Two of the best defenders in the business just combining there, Reimers and Hereda. Hereda still deep in the back pocket for Central District. It's a good kick into the middle of the ground, and a fine mark in front taken by Arnold. Whips it out wide. Now Jimmy Wine with another touch. He's prominent early. Lees able to take the mark there on the chest. His opposition is Lewis. Lee's kicked down toward the wing. Opportunity for Wade, couldn't hang on. Chance now for McGowan, gets it to Healy, and Healy swings play out very wide. Lewis will be a target, you would think, for sure, for Central District. Cook with a chance now on the left boot, short pass to Ingerson, and he juggles it. Important player for them, Ingerson, Jimmy.
Yes, and in that full forward position, he'll lead out. He's a very strong mark. His kicking is a little suspect, but this is an acute angle. It would take a real good kick to put this through.
So the 25-year-old underneath the scoreboard, which reads Port 2 behind, Central 1 point. Ingerson, he's a left footer, as you can see. He's deep in that left forward pocket. The kick on its way, and he has missed just.
Yes, that's always going to be a problem with Ingerson, and the further he goes in his career, he gets advice from all over the place, and he just doesn't know what sort of tactics to employ when he's having the shot. But that looked a good-looking kick. It was only just slightly offline.
Bulldogs kicking with a 2-goal breeze, if that. They want to get off to a good start. Delaney with the ball, brings it in straight down the middle of the ground. McGowan's in spot there, over the top was Angove, couldn't quite hang on to it. Green crumbs beautifully. Cook, who had a great game last week, gets it over the captain, intercepted by Lees. It's a bit scrappy at the moment, and a free kick is given to Jim Wine, and he will have a shot from about 40 metres out on the slight angle.
Well, I hope he's kicking better for goals than he is in field play. Mike, you mentioned that he got so many touches in the early part of the game. Yes, well, Wine received a free kick. And it's Swert that picked the ball up and has given it to Wine. I was just saying that Wind hasn't been all that accurate with his kicking in field play. We want to make a good one of this because it's not very far out. He's got the breeze behind him, about 45 metres.
45-metre kick by Jimmy Wine required, and I think he's certainly got the distance and he's got the goal. So the accuracy is there, and a good summation there from James Dean. It's 1-2 Central, Port Adelaide 2 behinds. Well, he certainly kicked that straight, Jimmy.
Well, yes, here's Wine again going in after that ball. He received the free kick, got the free kick from about 45 metres. I was a little bit worried about the accuracy of that kick because his field kicking hasn't been that good. But there's one thing about it, he's getting the ball, and when he gets it near goals, he kicks a goal. So goals win games.
Bettridge with the bounce. Arnold's getting right over the top at the moment. The tap went to Mead then. Wine in there again, very close. Green's done some good work. Pretty scrappy. And the umpire calls for a throw-up. Well, Jim, calling James Dean must make you feel pretty good?
Yes, makes me feel like a film star, Micah.
Well, you're wearing your day, Jimmy.
Waterhouse gets the tap there. Angove in, quick kick forward. Smith in the spot where he should be and takes a good grab. Plays on quickly, had players running past. Not a good kick on the left. Didn't give Tyler any chance for overrun. Waterhouse is picked up on his right and harassed and out on the full. 1 point it was.
Deserved a better fate too because Smith at centre half forward created the opportunity.
Yes, he just rushed that a bit, did Waterhouse. Ball now on the half-back line for Central District, still in the dangerous area as far as they're concerned. Now out to the wing over the head of Lees. Opportunity for North East. It was a good bounce for him. Over the top to Lees. He's going to be set upon. He could hear the footsteps coming. Lewis was the man who was putting the pressure on him. Gee, look at that for a tackle, a crunching tackle by North East. And the free kick is going... Who's it going to? It's going the way of big Brian Lees, who's at half-back, chips to Rowan Smith. Concedes ground back to Lees. He's been a wonderful find, hasn't he, for them? Fiarchi back to Lees. Look at that, 4 touches in about 15-20 seconds. You'd love that, Michael Ace, wouldn't you? Kicked by Lees down ground, picked off nicely by Hereda. Now Casserly. Desperation stuff here. The Magpies with a chance to go into it again. Overruns it, does Cook. A chance now for Healy. Healy's kick, well, he's given Lewis every possible chance. He's about 30 metres out. Chip pass to Ingerson, and Ingerson holds the mark.
Well, he's the boy for him today. Ingerson in that full forward position. There's no doubt about it. The tactics are get it down to Ingerson, put the ball out in front of him, and he'll mark him. Now, we've just got to see how he goes with his kicking.
So he's got a lot to prove, hasn't he, Jimmy? Because he'd be very keen to get back into the Crows lineup.
He's not far off it neither because he's got everything that counts. He's got plenty of guts. That's the main thing.
Well, he's about 20 metres out on a tight angle, and there's the kick, and you saw it pretty clearly on ABC TV Sport. It was right across the face, and I just get the feeling, Michael Ace, that just snuck in for a behind.
Well, it did, and as Jim's saying, he really doesn't quite guide the ball down far enough, and you learn that as a youngster, and as you get older, it's very difficult to do.
Yeah, especially for a left footer like that. You generally place it onto their boot. He dropped it from too far away.
The veteran with the ball, beautifully read by Smith. Now he's got clear. One bounce, he's looking for Smith, and McLeod just jumps in between. That's beautifully read by West. West going straight down to Tyler, and who was it? I think it was Carter. Olsen it was. Port just moving the ball a little bit more fluently than the Bulldogs at the moment, and that is a very fine grab.
Beautiful pass there by West too from centre wing.
Troy Olsen, 20 years of age, only a handful of games, 23. Hoping to bring up the Magpies' first major. There's the kick. Looks good from here, the crowd like it. And he's put it through. Port Adelaide go to 1-3-9. Level pegging with the Bulldogs at the moment.
Yes, well, Olsen's made a beautiful lead there, and the ball was perfectly delivered. He got up and a strong overhead mark by the young player. Now he went back with his left foot.
He's a handy target, Jim, if you can do that a few times.
Yes, and he made no mistake with the shot for goal.
Yes, good kick by Olsen. It's 1-3 to 1-3, nothing in it.
So, well, the difference is that the Centrals have had more of the play, but the scores are level.
9 points apiece, still in the middle to be won. Chance for Ellis went through his hands. Geez, strong work there by Binky. Eventually the ball wide of the pack. Opportunity for Wine. Got it from Healy, well inside the 50 metres. George Fiarchi having to really pump the legs to get back and defend. Does so well, gives out the hand pass into the back pocket to Lees. Lees with a chip pass downfield about 25 metres to northeast. Likewise now, similar sort of kick about 25-30 metres, but Pyman picks it off. He's way over on the eastern side of Footy Park, so he'll put this back into attack for Central District. It was a 2-on-1 situation there against Central, and as a result, West gave it across to Melakillis. Good work by Stevens. Hasn't been all that prominent so far, Stevens. Schwert now, who's a key playmaker for Central District. He just appeared to get one a bit high, but the umpire said it was holding the ball, Jimmy Dean.
Well, he laid over the top of the ball there, and the Port player tackled him very hard.
Wade with the ball over the top rim as Waterhouse has got another one on the back on his right foot. And under pressure again, this time doesn't register a behind, out of bounds on the full.
I think that's the operative word today, is pressure being applied by both sides, and it's quite noticeable. They're stirred up by the motivating coaches.
Wakeland with the ball coming in to ground. Smith again, crumbing beautifully onto West. They're doing that better at the moment. He drives long and really under no pressure at all, puts it out of bounds on the full again, Jim.
Well, it's a freak, because just before that he gained possession of the ball and a brilliant pass down the ground. You'd have swore blind he would have kicked that through for a goal, but it was right offline and out of bounds.
Waterhouse with a few opportunities, and West likewise. Brian Hereda boots it down ground about 30 metres, and the mark has been taken by Stephen Schwert. So there's nothing in this football match at the moment. 3 Port Adelaide players up, no mark taken though. That was Waterhouse who got the hand pass moving. Out wide from Melakillis, an opportunity now for Rowan Smith into the forward pocket. Outstorms Tylor, couldn't get a handle on it. Well done to McLeod. Timmy Geneva, yes! Oh, well done. The captain gets the goal and the Magpies burst to the front.
Well, experience counts for a lot in these type of games. This looks as though it's going to be a very tight contest here today. And Port Adelaide need leadership, and Geneva's just the man that can do that. He made great position coming down the ground, accepted the hand pass, and no doubt about the result, straight through the middle.
What do you think of this boy, Jim? McLeod.
I like him. Plenty of class about him at the moment. His body strength might be a little bit suspect, but he certainly can handle the ball and deliver it to good effect.
Kevin changes, bounces the ball. Arnold doing good work in there, so is Mead. No one gets a clear advantage. Stevens been a bit quiet on his 100th. Waterhouse has been in everything, so has West. West has picked off Tyler. Beautifully done. And no chance for Wakeland to get hold of that.
Oh, another beautiful pass there by West, and Tyler came out. And you can't miss those. A full forward leading up the centre of the ground, accepted the pass overhead. He's very usually a good kick for goal.
Tyler should put this one through, and does. Beautiful kick. That's what forwards must do. He registered the Magpies second.
So let's have another look at this. Jimmy G was terrific out of the centre by Port, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And here comes West again, and a magnificent pass right out in front of that full forward. The full forwards love that sort of thing. And Tyler used that wind beautifully. The wind is blowing across the ground, and he used it to good effect. The ball goes through for a goal.
3-3 to 1-3. The Magpies with a mini burst here, and they're looking pretty impressive. They have in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Out wide is Binky. Darren Smith trying to knock it to an advantage or to a teammate, not successfully though. McGowan short is good. Lures long way out, about 60 metres. You would think 2 kicks from goal. That's a good kick too. That's giving Ingerson every chance. At the back is Jimmy Wine. He got caught. He got his boot to it though, but it ricochets into the forward pocket. Chance for Fiarchi over the top now to Carter. Good rebound work by the Magpies. Delaney over the top to Angove. Angove at half-back. He gets through the stockade brilliantly and then boots it down ground toward the wing. It clean bowls a Central District player. Out it comes. What about that for a hand pass? Short one by West. Oh, McLeod and Darren Smith upsetting each other there. McLeod, clever work. Now Wakeland. Now across to Casserly. So they're messing about in defence. Pyman got one too high. Gets a free kick.
Well, you're right there, Mark, messing around. A lucky free quick in the end to Pyman. And we see, yes, well, McLeod getting too high. Onto Arnold. Cook was good last week in front of goal. Onto their skipper and Girdham. Girdham's got it. Got no support. Cleverly gets around. He goes to the head of the square to Ingerson. But Ingerson has got Port players all over him. Comes to ground. And Mr. Reliable, George Fiarchi, brings it out. Scott Stevens, here he is, a goal-kicking wingman. Gets onto his left foot. He's going to have a shot. He's within range now. Beautiful on his left. Straight through the centre. And registers the Bulldogs' second.
Well, you can't beat that sort of thing. A goal-kicking wingman, he always makes position so well coming down the ground. And once he gets around onto that left foot, he's deadly. Ingerson gave him the lead, but he ignored that lead because he was so confident in his own ability to kick the goal. And Michael, I just did notice every time Ingerson's gone for the ball after that promising opening, he's always got about 2 or 3 Port Adelaide defenders going with him.
Excellent game of footy so far. 3-3 to 2-3. Magpies lead by 6 points. Arnold and Mead, who's had a very good season in the ruck, incidentally. Melikelis, good skills. Rowan Smith. Is he within range? No, he's not. But the kick fortuitously falls into the waiting arms of West.
Well, there's no doubt about it at the moment. He is, without doubt, the best player on the ground.
Yes, he's probably should have another goal too, or he should have a goal to his name because he missed one earlier. But he's been very good, hasn't he? Rob West, 26-year-old. Well, this is about 40 metres out. He's directly in front. Now, the umpire does a lot of galloping to his left. And he misses, so another chance for Robbie West there. 3-4 to 2-3. Well, Magpies lead.
Don't you often see that a player that kicks so well in field play finds it difficult to kick goals from straight out in front?
Reamers bringing it back in. Arnold was the target. Punched away strongly by the Port defence. And Jim, there's some great matchups there today. When you look at Tylor up against Wakeland, you've got Lees against Lurs and Delaney up against Ingerson.
Well, you can see it's a tight game. It's got a grand final atmosphere about it here today.
West again getting a great try by Melikelis. Castley all over the top of in. Smith picks it up. Rowan has been in plenty again today. Smith in there again. You can't miss him. And the umpire calls a bounce. So Port Adelaide just doing it a little bit better than the Bulldogs at the moment. There, the bounce. Arnold in there again. No one can get a decisive tap out. Pyman over that. Healy it was, sorry. And out of bounds again.
Good crowd, good conditions. Wonderful day for football.
Of course, the big news is that Coffey dropped out of the side before the start of the game, and Ingerson's taken over at full forward, and Arnold in the ruck for Centrals.
Yes, Coffey with an ankle injury. Critical one for him to miss, really. As Girdham getting on with it. Boots it up toward left half forward. Here's Ellis, who's very lively. One-on-one, no, well back. And Delaney just getting back. Gee, I called that a bit casually. That was almost going to float through for a goal there, Jimmy.
Yes, but Delaney shows his experience again there. He just drew up back and managed to get a hand on the ball before it went through for a goal. The old firm are in good touch too today for Archie and Delaney in the last line of defence for Port Adelaide.
Fine player, Delaney always reads the ball, backs himself in, week out, and normally sets up plenty of Port's attacking moves from defence. Rowan Smith this time, he's picked off Lees. Those two have been very prominent early. Lees on the right, round the body. He's got Olsen and takes a great mark. Swings around onto his left, looking for Tylor. Wakeland in front. To the ground again. Castley's got hold of this. That's what a back player should do. Mop up the crumbs. Arnold drops the ball. Porter good, harassing now Girdham. Girdham's thrown it out to Rowan Smith. He can't pick it up. And now Healy's got hold of it.
Healy now downfield toward Ingerson, Delaney. They've all got to switch back now. Here's the dangerous Jimmy Wine. Goal! 2 goals to the Star Rover, and it's 3-4 apiece.
Yes, well, he's dynamite, Wine, when he's around that goal square. When the ball comes off hands, he judges everything so well. And Central playing brilliantly at the moment by going straight down the centre of the ground. They've got the assistance of the breeze and they're using it to good effect.
Well, I can tell you, your eyes light up when the ball comes behind the pack, and Jim Wine read it beautifully.
He would have been the buy of the century for Centrals this year so far. He's played magnificent football for them in the early part of the season.
You reckon Fiacci wouldn't be annoyed?
Well, you always want to bring it to the front, but that does happen. It's not the percentage play, bit of luck involved. Carter brings the ball to Angove. Now he's gone straight to no one, and Wakeman has just judged that beautifully. He's got the handball onto McGowan. Very quiet last week, taken off the ground, but a very fine player. He's got Lurs in front of Lees. Lurs and Lees, good combination. He had Ellis all by himself, but didn't see him. Back to McGowan. Stationary player, should have given it to him on the move. Healy again on the left. He's hoping he's going to get there, but Mead chips in and takes a fine mark.
So Delaney now accepts that one gleefully, picks up another stat, kicks towards centre half back. Guess who? It's West again. West kick just up in the air. He took it himself, so nothing, no major problems there, although Delaney got himself into a bit of trouble. Eventually the hand passes over the top to Angove, the left foot down ground toward left half forward. Opportunity now for Darren Smith, who's been a marvellous Port Adelaide player, and just happy to see it over the line. So good meterage gain there, Jimmy. It's out of bounds left half forward for the Magpies.
Yes, and I'm just intrigued with that duel at full forward and full back with Ingerson, because every time that Centrals go forward, they always have 2 or 3 defenders on him.
Who Port do? Yeah.
Yes, on Ingerson.
Well, that'll make it a bit difficult for him, won't it? And they tend to be doing that more and more these days, don't they? 2 and 3 outing players.
Yes, well, it's kept Modra pretty quiet for the Crows in recent weeks.
McGowan, the last to get up, scores even here at Footy Park. It's 3-4 apiece. 21 minutes, first quarter. It's been nip and tuck. There's been nothing in it. Darren Smith and Arnold there, but eventually Waterhouse gets hold of it. Now Reimers. David Green off his half-back flank has been pretty solid this year so far. Here's an opportunity for Peter Green as he sees Jimmy Wind out of the corner of his eye. Wind's hand pass gains 35 metres. A chance now for Ellis downfield looking for Ingerson. Only the 2 of them there this time, Jimmy, and a chance for Delaney to knock it over the line, and he does so. I guess the key is getting it down there quickly.
And it was Wind that got the ball down there and kicked it out into the open places. He's emerging as easily Central's best player at this moment.
Delaney again doing great work there. One-on-one is a fine player. Mead and Ingerson. Ingerson gets the tap to Noah. Northeast, another great half-backer for Port. And Wade, that should be a free. Yes, it is. Didn't have to do that, young Cook. Ridden him into the ground as it went over the boundary line.
Not much discipline there.
Wade with the ball on the far side. Kicks down. Reimers, Herrera over the top. Good work by Melikelis in there. Rowan Smith again round the body, looking for his skipper. Comes the ball down to the ground, and there is Olsen on his left, done that beautifully. Here's Tyler. Wakeman does it well. Waterhouse again read it beautifully. Handballs it off to McLeod, and McLeod puts it through. Well, Clive Waterhouse, very dangerous across the half-forward line for the Magpies at this stage.
Yeah, the player that's impressed me across that half-forward line for Port Adelaide at the moment is Olsen. He's using the ball effectively, and of course Waterhouse in front of goals is making the most of all these opportunities. He brilliantly produced a handball out to McLeod, and McLeod on the left foot dribbled it through for a goal.
I think he was pretty pleased McLeod was there, Jimmy, because his kicking...
He was caught, yes, and he was caught too. He would have had to kick it hurriedly as it was. But I do like Olsen, Mike.
Fine player.
4-4 to 3-4. So... the Magpies in front. Here's West again. The tap was good too, wasn't it? West about 35 metres in front of goal, so he's given his forwards every possible chance. Here's McLeod again. This time he can't pull off the magic.
Well, I tell you what, Mark, the tap was okay, but unfortunately for the Bulldogs, Arnold put it straight down the throat of West.
Yep. And they don't mess around, these Port Adelaide players, when they get the ball straight down the centre of the ground.
Arnold in there. Smith doing good work in ruck. The Bulldogs defence fighting hard. McLeod all over. Arnold again hanging on. just a tad too long on the vice skipper. Green moves along to Wakeland, one of the many brothers, and Peter Green drops a sitter.
He's better than that, Peter, isn't he? That is for sure.
27 degrees is a warm one, and that might be telling towards the end of the day. West in there again. Great work to Waterhouse. Waterhouse moves on to the left, harassed by Stevens. Put it, and McLeod in front, and that's where you play if you're a forward, Jim.
Yeah, a forward pocket player. He looks as though he's going to become a forward pocket specialist. He does his best work when he's resting in that forward pocket.
McLeod has kicked one a few minutes ago. Probably kicking from about 50 metres. Will be a decent hoof if he gets this one. Number 14 on the Crows list. It's a fair kick, just drifting. And a bevy, it's Tyler, it is.
Well,
Takes a grab and didn't leave the ground.
well, McLeod sent that ball in high. It was never going to be a goal, but just look at the way Tyler positions himself and a strong, tough mark overhead. And, well, he's been a bonus for him in that full forward position.
Tyler makes no mistake and kicked his second, coming in for the injured Scott Hodges, who looks as though he'll miss the whole year.
Yes, this is McLeod again coming in for this kick. It's a nice kick out in front of goals there, and Tyler sets himself beautifully, and up he goes, and a strong, tough mark. And there will be no doubt about that result.
12 goals for the season so far.
That's not bad, is it, for Port Adelaide in that full forward position, particularly the way they play. When they get the ball straight down the centre, they know he's there. He's reliable in front of goals.
2 straight kicks the difference. Arnold rushing in from the left, but he didn't get a chance at that one because Mead had it. But eventually out of the centre goes Central District. Jimmy Wine about 40 metres out. Lures down there with Lees at the back of him, northeast. Slaps it out. And they've got a chance. Here's Binky's hand pass, but he was under pressure. Healy likewise. Looking for Schwert. There's a bevy of players there eventually. Oh, that was good. I think that was Binky that got it out to Malacallis and to Lees. And they worked the ball nicely downfield toward right half forward. Pyman messed it up. Fortuitously, though, gets it back from Ellis. And they're in full throttle now as Ingerson goes up. Good work by Delaney at the back. The spoil was okay. Schwert on hands and knees. He waited for Cook. That was well done. Cook a left footer, and Cook has missed.
Yes, that was good stuff by Swert there on hands and knees, and produced a lovely hand pass. Should have been a better result because the kick was offline, and it wasn't very far out, only about 30 metres from goal. It was a slight angle.
Delaney to bring the ball back in. Works tremendously well with George Fiarchi. They say they're slow, but they are very fine players.
He's playing well at the moment, Delaney. He started off a bit quiet, but he's in full flight.
Umpires told Roger to get it going. The Dogs have matched up pretty well on the zone here. There he goes to the outer side. And over the back.
Beautiful.
Who was it? Lewis it was. He brings it forward looking for Cook or Ingerson. And Ingerson should have no problems in wrapping that one up.
Oh, that's a sensational mark there by Lewis. That's inspiring. As soon as he got that ball, he was down, his confidence was up, and then Ingerson made the lead and out in front, took the mark again. And Ingerson will put this one through. He's right in front.
Hope you're right, Jim.
Yep.
He certainly has done that. Anthony Ingerson, that's his third shot and his first major for the day.
Yes, he likes them straight out in front. I've always noticed that about him. Not from the angle so much. He has a bit of trouble contending with angles, but when he gets one right out in front, he can kick goals. But that was an inspirational mark there by Lewis, and of course the pass capped it off nicely.
Yes, way over the top, and Simon Lewis, good half last week, good second half. He'd be keen to impress. 5-4 to 4-5, 34 to 29, and the margin is 5 points in favour of the Magpies as Arnold and Mead doing the ruck work for their respective sides. It comes to the back of the pack and nicely kicked off the ground there by Wind up into the 50-metre region. They storm out after it. Here's Fiarchi first there. And just happy to see that over the line. I think there was a bit of concern he may have kicked that, or may have even done it on purpose, one of the two. I don't know whether he kicked it, but perhaps on purpose. Throw in, right half forward. Here's McGowan. Oh, he should have wrapped this up, and he does, Ingo. Well, he was way out in front there of Roger.
Yeah. Yes, you just can't beat that ball. It's delivered low to the ground like that. Ingerson had made a superb effort to get down on the knees for a big fellow and slid on the knees for a while to take the mark. But here again, out in front, and I'd like to put money on him.
He's already kicked a goal only moments ago, and he's got everything going for him here. He's got the breeze at his back if there is a breeze to contend with down on the field. There's his kick, and he's missed it. Yeah, he missed it to the left there, Jim, didn't he?
Yeah, but what a duel that is between him and Delaney, centre, a full forward and a full back. Delaney on top 1 minute, Ingerson getting back into the game, and the crowd are enthralled.
I tell you what, Jim, when you've got a guy like Rick McGowan or Craig Potter, when they're cool and calm, when the ruckman hit it down their throat and they've got the time to put on the chest like that, you'd like to have that 9 out of 10 times. And
Arnold doing a good job in the ruck just at the moment for Centrals.
Delaney with the ball, and who's that man? West again.
Best to punch the ground at the moment.
Away goes West. He's got Angove all by himself. And he's looking for Tylor. Wakeland with him and did it very well then. Just back to him at the right minute. Come to ground. Jimmy Wine has been in everything again. Now Bulldogs all by himself. Ellis it is. He'll have the players will start to set. Has their skipper in Girdham. Girdham goes wide to Healy. Healy another fine left footer's looking for Ingerson. And Mr. Reliable just punches it over the boundary line.
Yes, another player that's impressed me with the Central side today is Healy. It looks as though he's playing on a half-back flank, but clearing with rare dash and beautiful long left footers into the forward area.
There's the boundary throw-in. Ingerson doing the work onto Schwert. Schwert to the skipper. Round the body's got no one there. And that man, Delaney, brings it to Lees. Lees tries to bring it across to Angove. He's let it go. Good work by Green. He might be in a bit of trouble here. Merrick Ellis in there, it's just bouncing around. Oh, Ellis just can't get it around far enough and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
Yes, well, players that get the ball in a position like that should make a better fist of it, because he was under pressure, there's no doubt about that, but he didn't try and hook the ball across his body, and as a consequence it went straight out of bounds.
Comments from Jimmy Dean, and we're joined by Michael Aish this afternoon. This is Roger Delaney, who's carved up the best in the local comp over the last 6 or 7 years at fullback. Melikelis, Binky, I think that might have been, got it the hand pass, and eventually West ends up with it. Good vision there to Lees. Down on centre wing now with a good kick down toward right half forward. It bounces off the chest of Wakeland and eventually drifts out of bounds. So the ball to be thrown in at right half forward for the Magpies. 32 minutes gone. Gee, it's been a long quarter. 9 goals kicked. 5-4 to 4 goals 6. It's been an extraordinary length in terms of a quarter there. Here's Huey Reimers. Wind and Melikelis. And Melikelis gets a fist in there somewhere, and there'll be another throw in.
Yes, that duel between Lees and Lurs, centre half forward, centre half back respectively, is another classical duel.
Arnold in ruck with Smith. And Wade can't get rid of that. The umpire calls for another throw up. And very important game, Jin, for the Bulldogs. Last year in that qualifying final, of course, they went down in extra time, and then in the prelim got belted by somewhat 90 points. There's the siren. Ends this first quarter with the Magpies 5-4-34. The Bulldogs just trailing by 4 points, 4-6-30. All the action brought to you by ABC Sport.
All set to go, second half here, 5-4-34. Port Adelaide Central 4-6 by 4-6-30. Second quarter underway. And so far it's been a good game of football. Nothing in this match, just the 4 points. As the Magpies drive it forward, that's a pretty good kick, but a fine mark in defence taken by Wakeland. He picks off Casserly, who in turn shares the ball around to the far side. This is big Brian Hereda, who was prominent in the first quarter. Peter Green gets a second chance at it. The runner is Stevens. Knocks it cleverly to a teammate, and that's Huey Reimers. Gee, they transported that about 20 metres between them. George Fiarchi getting back, trying to take a fingertipper. Here's Cook, tries desperately to keep it in play. Fiarchi again. A short pass is okay, and he finds Tim Ginniver, the Magpie captain.
Ginniver on to Carter. Carter on to Wade. Straight down the middle of the ground now. Castley's in there. Waterhouse over top Reimers. And Melakalis does the crumb work. Beautifully tackled by Castley. The turn over to Schwert. Now Schwert straight down Green. And was that manhandled? No, it wasn't. Yes, it was.
Yes. Took a long while to give that decision, the umpire, but there was no doubt about it.
Yes.
The ball was in mid-air, and he was handled with and pushed out of the way.
Peter Green.
Peter Green.
Recruited from Carlton. Fires it in, looking for Lurs and Ingerson. Lurs has got the sit, and thank you very much. That was pretty easy.
Just filled the hole, didn't he?
Certainly did. Didn't have much opposition to that one.
Covers a bit of ground for a centre half forward. Plays up near the centre, back towards the goals.
Simon Lurs not going to get that one. In fact, he's kicked that out of bounds on the full. Well, if you're a centre half forward, come full forward, you want to register at least something, Jim.
Yes, from that position too, in the centre of the ground. I don't think that wind's having much effect on the game. If there is any at all, Centrals are kicking into it in the second quarter.
Just a flutter. And the Magpies still with this 4-point lead, 5-4 to 4-6. 34 plays 30. McGowan sends play back inside 50, and Ingerson on his chest. A good metre and a half in front there of his opponent, Jim.
And a good kick by McGowan there. He had to kick that with his left foot, but he realised there was a big space there and dropped it softly out into the space, and gave Ingerson the chance to come in and mark it easily on his chest.
Already has one goal, 3. He's had 4 shots at goal. This will be his 5th. And Ingerson's kick is not good. Gee, it doesn't even make the distance, and that is not really good footy, is it? I mean,
it's bad luck. They work so hard to get the ball down there, and he's playing well, but he can't kick straight.
Well, I was reluctant to make a negative comment there, but he really should have got the distance there. Look, that breeze might be a little more significant, perhaps, Jim. Anyway, the ball now at half-back, and this is Carter. Peter Green standing the mark. Carter downfield. He goes looking for Troy Olsen, but it bounces in front of him and Pyman, and is out of bounds in front of us on this western wing.
Well, if the Bulldogs want to play good finals footy and win grand finals, they need their forwards, albeit Grant Coffey being out of the side. If you're going to get in that position, you have to put them through. There's the top boundary throw in. Over it goes in front of Wade and Christopher Pyman. So 3 minutes into this second term. It's a close one. Smith doing good work with Arnold. Schwert in there. It's tight. McGowan too high. Gets rid of the ball to no one. Ginniver belts it through. Wade's got hold of it now. Puts it forward, and in front is Tyler. And beautifully read. It's come to ground. Umpire didn't pay that. McGowan, he normally picks off someone. And he's missed Schwert, but Jimmy Wine gets another touch in front. Lures. Lee's all over him. That's nearly holding the ball. Tunnels it over, and out of bounds it rolls.
I tell you, a player that's been impressive since he was included into the side, wasn't in the original team, is Wade, big tall player, and he's getting a lot of kicks around the ground now, and he's getting better as the game progresses.
Magpies lead by 4 points. Healy, McGowan, 33 is Mead, 41 is Waterhouse. Number 3 for Port Adelaide is Mark Wade, the man that Jimmy was just talking about. Almost 5 minutes has elapsed in the second quarter. Lures, high kick by Wine, just kicked it indiscriminately, and Lees was able to wrap it up. Here's Binky. Gee, that's a good kick. In terms of direction, not so good. The distance was good, but the direction a little astray, and Arnold able to wrap it up on the defensive 50. That's touched off the boot. So it's pretty scrappy in there at the moment. Nothing too positive happening with David Green being wrapped up. And there'll be a ball up on this wing. And we've played, what have we played? 5.5 minutes in the second quarter.
Very scrappy in there. No one can get it out. Now it's thrown around. Good hands by Olsen. Olsen onto Wade. And over the back. Bring it to the forward. Lucky for Bulldogs that Reimers is there and runs it through. Well, if you're a Port Adelaide player and it came over the top similar to the Jim Wine incident a bit earlier, they would have snaffled that and put it through for a major.
Port not getting much from Smith today, and it's surprising because it's a magnificent day for a player of his calibre because he should be taking strong marks overhead. But he's been blocked out of the game, but you've never got him boxed up. He'll come good, I'm quite sure, later on in the game.
Reimers with the ball, brings it out to Arnold, gets it back now, good run on, boots it down to the far wing. Green and Carter, crowd screaming for a free kick to Carter as the ball trundles over the line. Good contest, and that's another good matchup.
Magpies by 5 points. And there's been little in this match since the outset. Here's Angove at half forward. Green getting back. David Green tried to anticipate that, not successfully. Reimers only knocked it into the waiting arms of Ginniver. Oh, they're going to get out of this. And this is David Green. So Central District get out of trouble to the far side. Over there is Ellison Northeast. Northeast keeps it in. West, who was very prominent in that first quarter. Oh, he just took a bounce. He didn't know there was someone coming. Was he tripped? He's not too happy about things, and it's just getting a little heated in there at the moment. And this wasn't really ever going to happen, Jimmy, but all of a sudden things have ignited.
And I see Smith right in the thick of things there. He can protect those younger Port Adelaide players that are hovering around.
And Mead plays on and gets a scrambling kick out wide. Here's McLeod, opportunity for Mead again. Left foot around the corner, almost a mark taken down there by Olsen. Couldn't quite hold on to the footy though. As Wakeland comes away with it, Pyman wraps up the mark. No, the umpire didn't pay it in the end. It was Healy. Oh!
Pyman's come crashing in. Got Smith fairly high. The umpires, well, let's have a look at that prop. No, not in the back, and I question that. He just went in hard for the ball, but still, Smith's got hold of it. Jude Engelbert's liable to do anything across the face. He kept it in beautifully. Ginniver's got hold of that and put it through.
Well, he's dynamite down there in that forward pocket position. His reflexes are so quick, and as soon as that ball hit the ground, he dived on it, handled the ball like it was a basketball, and then kicked the ball over his shoulder and threw for a lovely goal for Port Adelaide. And there again, they're inspirational goals, though. Just when it looks as though it's tight and it's tough, someone does something spectacular like that and it lifts the rest of the side.
Wasn't that a goal? 6-5 to 4-6, 11 points, Port Adelaide's lead now. And what have we played? Almost 9 minutes of the second quarter. And things just starting to hot up here at Football Park. McGowan had it and then lost it. West tried to knock it forward. Here's Peter Green hustling and bustling in the centre. Mead's got the footy. Now he loses it. Chance for Carter. Tried to get the hand pass through the traffic. Green eventually to wind, and away they go, Central District. Up towards centre half forward. An opportunity down there for Fiachi and Cook, and they both wrap it up, and the umpire says it's an even Stevens one, fellas. And I'll ball it up about 50 metres in front of the Central goal.
Well, both defences under a lot of pressure, and it could be similar to last week where the defences were the key to the game. McGowan's got that, practically throws it out to Stevens. Now he's got Ingerson on the lead. It's in front, beautifully sat, and grabbed hold of it, but couldn't. Oh, bit high. And the crowd, the Port supporters not liking that one, but Ingerson competing well.
Yes, Ingerson went up. He almost could have been paid that mark in the first instance, but he was thrown, there's no doubt about that one, Michael, round the neck at the finish, and now Ingerson will go back to have this free kick from a very acute angle.
He's got to centre it, which he does. over the top is Ango, punches it away. Now the crumb is West has got hold of it again. No, it isn't, it's Carter. And he doesn't like to be handled like that. So the umpire will bounce it out about 45 metres directly in front of the Bulldogs' goal. Lewis in there with Mead. No one will get... Cook actually got hold of it, but he's not going to get out of there. And it's very tight, and those 50-50 contests, Jim in close, could be the telling factor.
Well, there's nothing pretty about the game, but you can sense and even smell, I think, the pressure from up here in the grandstand. It's great stuff.
11 points, Port Adelaide's lead. As Wade clears the zone, he goes out wide, but they'll push this back into attack again, Central District. That's Arnold, this is Stevens. Stevens about 3 kicks out. What would he be? About to 95 metres from goal. He's on that far wing, the eastern wing. It's a good kick by Scotty Stevens, playing his 100th game. Ingerson in front. A chance now as he gets it to McGowan, who's very clever. McGowan squares the footy wide, but he hasn't got the height because Binky's there. A chance now for Girdham. He was harassed. Binky there again. Port Adelaide players on the outer of the congested pack there, and a chance for West. And West goes for a gallop. He takes 2 bounces and then delivers inside the 50. Up goes Tylor. Couldn't get a hand to it. Darren Smith, well done. Here's a chance now for Casserly. And Casserly, sensing the danger, kicks into the back pocket, and Reimers has got the footy. Reimers runs about 15 metres and then kicks 20 metres down ground to Scotty Stevens, and Central District out of trouble.
Scotty Stevens got McGowan, made beautiful possession, but Malakalis has just chipped in. What's he going to do with it? He's got Smith from behind, but dropped short. Play on. McLeod's in there. No one can get a good grab of the ball. McAllis is backed up beautifully, and the umpire will call another throw-up. So I just tend to think, Jim, at the moment that Port Adelaide are just moving that ball a little bit better into their forward lines.
Yes, and doing more with the ball when they're going into the forward line. Although they're breaking down across that half-forward line, particularly Big Smith at centre half-forward, he hasn't been able to get into the game.
Arnold's just thrown that out. And Angove straightens up, kicks long, and Wakeland over the top, backed his judgment beautifully, took 2 steps back and thumped it over for a behind.
Well, this is going to be great experience for Central because this is a real pressure game. You sense that it's something like a grand final out here today, and the experience will do them the world of good. There's no doubt about that.
2 kicks in it. Here's Casserly. Now he's got to work hard. As the kick came in from the full-back, and there was no touch on it. And the Magpies to boot it back in. Tim Ginniver, the Port skipper, 50 metres from goal, tight angle. And the Magpies with their tails up at the moment by 2 goals. That's a beautiful kick to Melakalis. And Melakalis is pretty well smack bang in front. He'll kick from about 40 metres. It's 6-6 to 4-6.
Yeah, well,
40.
that's a lack of concentration there by the Central District's defenders to let Malakalis get out into the open spaces on his own. Everyone knows that Ginniver's a beautiful pass, and Ginniver popped it straight on his chest.
So Melakalis, as Sentry comes on, goes for goal, and he's missed to the right. He's just jagged that. Sentry comes on, and the player to go off is Clive Waterhouse. There he is there, into the bunker, into the dugout. It's 6-7 to 4-6.
Huey Reimers, another tall timber down there for the Dogs, has done it again. This time he has picked off Casserly. He's been a good player for the Dogs this year, but that is a terrible kick. He's kicked it into the second row of the stand. Not quite the stand, let's say the terrace. And Smith will bring it forward. Who's he got there? Olsen. And no contest there. He's backed up pretty well as Reimers. He's got Jimmy Wine or Brian Hereda, and he'll safely take a grab. And they want to get it on moving. This is where they're falling down. They've just got no movement across centre or half forward. Simon Lewis creates the lead and leads up the ground, which he does often. He's a fine player. They're chipping around at the moment. Now Schwert. Port holding up very well. There's another short kick to Wine. He's got no one and blasts it down. And Delaney just picks it up from behind and gives it to Carter around the body beautifully to Smith. Now Smith onto that man West. John West's brother. Intercepted. Lees, he's been good for him as well. Just gives it to no one. And so does McGowan. Now it's Melakalis. streaming down, kicks long, Tyler behind, and good work. Oh, beautifully done, Tyler. And has he got it? No, he hasn't. One behind.
Oh, well, it was spectacular stuff there by Tyler. He went out to get the ball. He couldn't rip it overhead. The ball hit the ground, and then he tried an overhead shot from a standing start, and it just missed. Went through for a point.
I know Tyler's kicked 2, but Wakeland's done a reasonable job.
My word, he has, yes.
That would have been a special goal, Jimmy, if he had split the centre there.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Harada to Reamers, 2 good defenders in the local league and 2 key players, so that's a good mark. Taken by Binky. And Binky slams it down ground, or was it Wade? No, I think it was Binky. And the ball is held up at centre half forward. That's Casserly.
Yes, he's been very impressive in that last line of defence, Casserly, although he just brought himself undone by kicking the ball out of bounds. But apart from that, he's been very strong. 14
points is the lead to Port Adelaide. Wind, Schwert, Harada. That was meant for Schwert, but it was intercepted by Ginniver. And now it's Angove with a high kick and just into the forward pocket. Wakeland. Back he goes to Green. This is David Green. Fires it out wide to the wing. 3-on-1 out there against Ellis. He didn't have a hope in heck. Binky again. Drives it inside 50. Up goes Reimers. Oh, player down at the back. I hope he's okay. I think it might be Wakeland. He doesn't look too well at all as Setri standing over a Central District player. Now, yes, it is Wakeland. Came crashing down. I'd like to have another look at that. He looks a bit groggy. Let's have another look at this. There's Reimers going up, and we don't quite see it, but he just looked as though he might have knocked his head.
Yes, I think he might have got a knee there as he's going down.
Ginniver nearly gets run down. Carter overruns his work, does well to hold it up. Lewis in there, beautifully fed off to Girdham. That's what they've missed. Girdham always done something to it. Healy it is on the left, from the 50. Magnificent kick! And splits the centre.
Yes, we'll have to watch this boy. He's only a youngster in the Central District side, but he looks all class. He's a beautiful sweep mover. Got clear there, handled the ball nicely, and then the big, strong left footer, and it was dead on target and through for a goal. There's another lift for Central District. This is how the game looks as though it's going to go for the remainder of the day, and it looks as though it'll only be the strong that survive.
So Healy gets his first. That was an inspirational goal. 6-8 to 5-6. 8 points, Port Adelaide's lead. Well and truly into the second quarter of this big game. Wouldn't Central love to avenge those 2 losses in the final to Port Adelaide last year? Here's Green. Now McGowan tries to slap it forward, does it successfully. Wine, who's always very, very good. Stevens, just nowhere to go. Now swings onto the left boot towards centre half forward. At the back court, badly there was Ingerson out of position. Delaney to Fiarchi, and the firm working well, as Jimmy pointed out earlier on. Over there is Angove.
Yes, Delaney doesn't know how to make a mistake in that last line of defence. It must be humdrum stuff for him, because he's been doing it for years, and very seldom do you see him make errors back there. He's slow, he just gets the ball and pushes it out to players that are going down the ground.
Mead puts it down Angove's throat. He's on the left, hugging the boundary line, and just a little bit too close, kicks it out of bounds. And Jim, when you lose a player of the calibre of Grant Coffey to this date, where you know he's going to kick some goals, as we see the Bulldog player in Harada kicks it out of bounds again, really does unsettle the side to a certain extent.
It does, really. Ingerson has got the ball well down there at full forward, but he's let him down with his goal kicking, because Ingerson could have been taking those marks around the ground, and Centrals would have looked a far better side. Angove
boots it in. Nearly well read by McLeod. Setri's got it. Is this another one? Yes, it is. A la Tim Ginniver. Adrian Setri comes onto the ground, kicks his first, and the Magpies 7th.
Yeah, see, they're snapshots by Setri there, and they do give the side a lift when it's been tight and it's tough and it's hard to get the ball out into the open spaces. And Setri had to kick that ball under enormous pressure from a standing start. He put it through for a goal. So Port Adelaide are gradually gaining ascendancy now and using the ball with more method when they get it into their forward area.
7-8 to 5-6. Comments from Jimmy Dean. 20 minutes gone, second quarter. Ball back in the centre. Arnold and Mead. Ginniver tries to belt it onto the boot quickly. Chance now for Girdham and Stevens combining well. Good kick almost inside the 50 metres. Here's Lewis with Lees. Lewis gets the hand pass to Cook. He's a left footer. This is pretty well tailor-made for him. Over the head of Ingerson though. The kick just a bit too high, as you clearly saw. And Delaney having plenty of time, or Stevens, the footsteps were coming at 100 mile an hour. Ginniver didn't shirk it though. Well done to Carter though. It rebounds superbly. The Magpies into the middle. Smith hasn't had an influence. Good kick though under the circumstances, under pressure. Setri, who kicked the last goal. The umpire says play on. The crowd says that was holding the ball against Central District. Here's Squirt. Carter, he came in at 100 mile an hour. Here's Cook with a hand pass. Back it goes. An opportunity now for Arnold. Oh, the kick nowhere to be seen though as far as the Central player was concerned. Ellis came in late, but easily was the Northeast.
The Magpies just harassing the Bulldogs at the moment. Their on-ballers can't get a clean grab. Northeast brings it to the far side, looking for Smith. Over the back is Arnold. Arnold just falls on it. That's holding the ball. No, play on. And now there'll be a ball up with Ginniver and Setri.
Port Adelaide are laying on those notorious Port Adelaide tackles just at the moment. This is the toughest they've played in this last 5 minutes of the game. The Central District players find it very difficult to get out in the open and do anything constructive with the ball. 22
minutes into this second term. Setri gets the kick quickly. Herrera's got it. On to Girdham. Girdham's been fine for the Bulldogs today. On to Cook. Now they're mounting something. Pyman it is. He's got Ingerson out in front. Oh, and drops a sitter. And the umpire will ball her up as it fell into Rogers' arms. Had no chance of getting rid of that one.
When you've got a player, Jimmy, who's close to Crow's selection, do you think it starts to worry them? Do you think they start to lose a little concentration?
Well, especially in these circumstances today, because his kicking has let him down. And once your kicking lets you down, when you're shooting for goals, your confidence goes. If I was the coach now, I'd be inclined to make a move there and put him up in the ruck and see if he can take those marks around the ground and bring other players into the game.
Well, they've got a chance to score here as Central District go into attack again. That's a great goal. That is an excellent goal, and they really needed that. Stephen Schwerth. Just the situation just getting away from Central in the last couple of minutes.
Yes.
But Schwerty with a great goal. Let's have another look at this, Jimmy. Did it hit the post or not?
Well, we can't tell from here, but Schwerth got around onto that lethal left foot there. And I reckon it was Ingerson who provided the opportunity from that boundary throw in there. And that's why I'm suggesting...
Have a look at this. Who's he reported? I can't pick the player. Obviously Roger for disputing a decision.
Yeah. Oh, they're not going to start that over here now, are they? Reporting players for contradicting an umpire's decision.
Green gets it out. It's play on. Jimmy Wine in there again. Now Green, Lurs it was. Tried to pick off Ricky McGowan. Didn't quite get there. Ango's got the run of the ball. He'll look for Setri, is it? And that is a good grab by Huey Reimers. He plays on straight to his partner in Herrera. Herrera hasn't got anyone to kick to. Green and Carter and Northeast running over the line.
Well, that's a good fight back there by Centrals, because it looked as though Port was starting to get on top. They were tackling fiercely and Centrals couldn't do anything with the ball, and Port Adelaide broke away. But Centrals again clinging on and came back vigorously to get within 8 points.
Oh, gee, solid work there by Reimers, and West also retaliating there. So it is extremely hot down here at Footy Park at the moment. Down ground, the holding the ball decision goes against Stevens, playing his 100th, and it'll go to Rowan Smith at halfback. Left halfback for the Magpies. Here he goes with the kick. Smith is the target. Down there is Arnold. Oh, hello, another holding the ball, and this time it's against Herrera.
Setru with the ball. Kicked a beautiful goal 5 minutes ago. Tyler's on the lead and slips over. Wakeland just picks up the ball casually there and picks off Ricky McGowan. Ricky McGowan across that far side. Ellis, they're just chipping the ball at the moment, the Bulldogs. They've got to get it on and get it on quickly. Ellis booms it down. Lures in the spot there. Beautiful read by Jimmy White. Can't quite grab it. And over the line it goes. Bulldogs 8 points in arrears at this stage. Port just holding the cards at the moment. Oh, gee whiz, have a look at that. And Scotty Stevens, he's got a panic. Ingerson goes one way then the other. And is beautifully put by Scott Stevens. Held it back beautifully. Ingerson going one way then the other.
Well, you don't see much better passes than this. Just have a look at this. This is a perfect pass. Just over the top of the outstretched fingers of the Port defender, onto the chest of Ingerson. And now Ingerson's has got to kick a goal here because that was one of the best passages of football for the day.
Isn't it good to see these left footers in action, Jim? Most of them are just pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah, it's, especially when they're out a long way from goals to fast leading forwards coming up the ground.
Ingerson. Oh, no. Has he got this one? I think he has. Yes, he has.
Oh, I bet the coach is in the box now and breathing a sigh of relief because he must have been prompted on a couple of occasions in the last 10 minutes to take him away from that all-important full-forward position. But he got the ball there from the centre of the ground and marked it on his chest. He took plenty of time over that kick and kept the ball low to his boot and through for a goal.
Right over the top there of, as Jimmy said, those support defenders. One of them is Delaney. Ingerson gets his second. Confidence booster for him. Back in the centre, 2 points in it. An enthralling duel here. There must be a player in the centre square or one too many. And the free kick is going the Magpies' way. It's with Mead. Well inside 50. 2-on-1 situation against Tyler. They all fall down at the back. Opportunity now for Setri. 50 metres from goal. He kicks very close. This will be a goal. No, it's just touched. Gee, it floated and floated. And it just didn't quite have the carry, and the central defenders desperate with the hands. They got a touch just on the line.
I tell you what, it's a heartache if you're a coach when someone runs into that centre square, Jim, and gives it away, and you're nearly giving away a goal because you'll get into the goal square every time. Well,
you can say you're slaughtering a goal in a situation like that, and Setri again from that half forward. You take your eye off Setri for too long, he can turn the course of the game, and that wasn't far off.
Damien Arnold with the ball. Kicks to Lewis. That's a good contest with him and Lees at the moment. Carter's got the ball. Cook over the top of him. No one can pick it up at the moment. Now Peter Green does it beautifully round the body. And doesn't go too far. In fact, Smith to Melakalis to Wade to Healy on the left. Another left footer. Have a look at this. Delaney's done that well. So has Northeast. So has Fehachi. And they run away beautifully to Mead. Not going too far at the moment. Peter Green's read it better than anyone else. Stephen Squirt's got hold of it now, and he is going to pick off Ingerson.
Yep.
And Ingerson is in a very, very acute angle. And I'll tell you what, he's got Peter Green just sitting about 25 metres away with no one on him.
He's on his left foot here. That might make a little bit of difference for him as far as his accuracy goes.
Ingerson kicks the ball. Oh, he's kicked a beauty! Well, that's his second in about 3 minutes. He's kicked 3 for the day. And Jim, 2 in 2 minutes will give him plenty of confidence.
Oh, well, he needed it too because he deserved better than that. He's been playing particularly well down there, but his kicking had let him down. But 2 goals like that, and that'll put him in the Crows because he's certainly lifted Centrals here in this last few minutes of the game. They know he's there. They know he's in form, and they're directing the ball perfectly to him.
3-3 to Anthony Ingerson back in the centre, and Central District now lead by 3 points. 8-6 to 7-9. A very exciting game of football. This exit from the centre will be very important. Schwert is the man who eventually kicks downfield. Opportunity for Cook. No, that was 49. That was Ellis. Here they go again. McGowan, 2-on-1. Ingerson in front. Ingerson! Oh, what God, what a mark that was. Hand passes over to Cook, and Cook will kick a goal.
Oh, sensational stuff there by Ingerson. And there's one thing I think that coaches or anyone that's closely connected with football appreciates about a player playing in that position, full forward. Usually they become very selfish, but Ingerson, no doubt about that one at all. As soon as he hit the ground, he saw the player moving down the ground past him, let go with the hand pass and brought up another goal. It doesn't matter who kicks him, as long as it goes on the board for Central District. That's what Ingerson says.
Well, I think Ingerson didn't want to really have a kick at that one, but he made the right decision, played on beautifully, and Tim Cook put his first through. The Bulldogs wrestled the ascendancy away from the Magpies at the moment. Setri's been a live wire since he's come on. The Bulldogs going through again. Beautifully done, but they're crumbing the ball. Ellis can't quite grab it. And there's the siren to finish what has been an enthralling first half at Football Park. Port Adelaide just trailing by 9 points, 7-9-51. The Bulldogs bouncing back 9-6-60. And all the action brought to you on ABC Sport.
So everything in readiness now for what should be a terrific second half of football. It's first up against fourth. Central District yet to lose in 1995. McLeod, who's having a stint now in the centre. Here's Healy, good distance with that kick. Almost Tim Cook, a spectacular mark. Look at the defenders there of Port Adelaide. This is Binky, good rebounding work to Carter. Into the middle now, and Timmy Ginniver downfield up toward Darren Smith, who needs to lift. Sentry, who has been very good since coming on. And he's going to get a free kick. He was very dangerous in that second term. Adrian Setri, well inside 50 now. Up goes Tylor. Poorly timed though. Opportunity now for West. Round the corner, and West, what's he done? He's just missed. What do you make of him, Jimmy?
Well, he's an old-time centre player there. He's covering an enormous amount of ground. He's opening up when they bounce the ball at centre, but defending on some occasions and going right down into the forward area there. But he's sharing it up pretty well with McGowan. McGowan came back strongly in that second quarter for Central Districts, and I thought that slightly got on top, did more with the ball.
Huey Reimers belts it out of full back, and Jimmy Wine in front. McLeod all over him. Now Angove, he'll boot it to the head of the square. Clive Waterhouse. And Huey Reimers just pops in and takes a great backman's mark onto the 100-game player, Scotty Stevens. And had no one to kick it to. Beautifully done by Waterhouse. Just pushed him off balance. Out of bounds on the full. And Smith will have a shot from about 50. Very acute angle here. Just taking his time. And have a look at that shot. Scotty Stevens. Smith. Ooh, not a good kick. Drags it just a touch to put through a behind. And
yep.
Darren Smith, Jim, has been a bit quiet.
Very quiet at centre half forward, but he's always liable to get into the game. He plays a very important role for Port Adelaide when he's on top, because he does a lot of ruck work for them when the ball's in the forward area.
So the margin is 7 points. And there's the kick out toward half back. Here's Rowan Smith now on half forward. Swings it towards centre half forward. Up goes Wakeland, who has played very well, the full-back, although Tyler's got a couple. Girdham, who's been in the thick of things. Chance now for McLeod. Tried to knock it forward. Had 3 or 4 to beat. Mead is in there late. And also Casserly, and the ball up to take place pretty well directly in front of the northern goal. Michael Ace joining us with Jimmy Dean in the commentary position today. Good conditions. Just a little breezy. Here's Angove, pressure from Healy, Reimers, Olsen had him, Malakalis has got the footy, then loses it. Waterhouse needs to pick up. Desperate situation by Malakalis. Now Angove swings it round out of bounds on the full.
I think a lot of this bad kicking has been brought about by the fierce tackling both sides of the ground. I noticed here when Stevens kicked out a ball, a fierce tackle by a Port Adelaide defender. The same thing happened over that side of the ground where Centrals were forced into error.
Throw in by the boundary line. It was touched off the boot. Beautifully done by Arnold. And it's tough and hard in there. No one Oh, hang on. Didn't see that, but the umpire's picked out one too high.
Have a look at this.
And going to that man in West. There we go, Jim. On the side of the screen there. Well, in front of goals too, Jim.
Holding the ball.
Rob West. Was going to be a 25-metre penalty, but Rob West puts through his first, and the Magpies get first blood after half-time at the 4-minute mark. 8-11 to 9-8.
Yes, and it's a free kick here. It's a doubtful one. I don't think it's a very strong one. It's a holding the ball, isn't it?
Oh, no, there it is, Jimmy. Round the neck. Against Herrera.
Yeah, further on. Yep.
Robbie West gets his first. Arnold, who's about to storm in from the left, and Mead in from the right. That bounce just favours Mead easily. Wasn't able to do anything positive, although in the end the skipper got it to northeast. That was Ginniver to northeast. Downfield he goes. Robbie Waterhouse in front of about 4 of them. Melakalis, oh, what about that? Here's West! West again, and he's belted it through for a terrific goal. Oh, what a goal that was. That is a real lifter.
Yes, and this is when you see Port Adelaide at their ugliest as far as the opposition is concerned. They've resorted to the big long kicks down into that forward area, and immediately the ball came off hands. It was West there to get the ball off the pack and have that another accurate shot for goal. Port Adelaide are in great touch when they play like that. That's Johnny Cale's game, and I would say at half-time he would have been in there telling them that you've got to get the ball, kick it long into the forward area and take advantage of the ball when it comes off hands.
The bounce down. Pies with 2 quick ones. Arnold and Mead. No one get a decisive tap out there. And that's been a good contest. Arnold and Mead, nothing much in that. Along with that one we said earlier between McGowan and West. McGowan not at his best last week and has been good today. There's Arnold. Gets it down. Healy around the body. Fiati always reads the bell well. Lewis has picked up that. Peter Green on the check side. Can't bring that back and just sneaks in for a behind. Good build up by the Dogs.
Did he have a chance to straighten his body then, Michael?
He had to kick that off the side of the boot, it looked like to me, Mike, but this is a game that has got the crowd enthralled. The ball's going from end to end. It's tough, it's strong, and you're seeing all these skills exploited by both sides.
First playing fourth. Delaney, a beautiful kick out. Picks Carter. Bangs it through. Here's Waterhouse in front. Takes a great mark in front of Remus. Holds him up. Plays on the right. Kicks beautifully both right or left. Over the top. Who was it in? Tyler nearly grabs it. A free's been given. And that will go to Peter Green, it looks like, for the Bulldogs.
I reckon Tyler was a bit unlucky there not to have got a free kick. He seemed to be indicating that he caught one a little bit high. But anyway, play goes on, and Wakeland delivers out wide to the half-back flank. What about that from Markbot to Angove? No, the umpire didn't pay it. He said that Angove didn't hold it long enough. Ginniver, terrific peripheral vision. Now to D. Smith, who has been quiet. Cap it off with a goal. No, back goes Tyler. And Tyler has taken a spectacular mark. They're on fire here at the moment at Football Park, the mighty Magpies.
Yes, well, this is D. Smith. As I mentioned earlier in the game, all right, he didn't do much in the first half of the game, but he's a player that you can't afford to let go for 1 second because he can turn the course of a game. Took that mark and beautifully produced, kicked into Tyler, and Tyler did the rest by taking the strong overhead mark.
Already has 2, but Wakeland has done a good job on him since those 2 goals in the first term. Anyway, here he is. That's a perfect camera shot, so ride this with us. Wherever you may be watching, there's the kick, and he has shredded it through. And the Magpie machine is in full throttle here at Football Park. Tyler just having a few words to Green. It's 10-11 to 9-7.
Yes, I'll say one thing about Tyler. When he gets the mark and kicks the goal like that, it doesn't matter if he's on an angle or if he's a long way out, he's an accurate kick for goals. And this gives the players further afield confidence when they're coming down the ground to kick the ball to him. He makes the most of limited opportunities.
This will test the Bulldogs' resolve over the sea down there at Prospect. North careering away by 30 points against the Bloods.
South Adelaide and the Eagles south by 60 points.
And a tight one at Murray Bridge with the Redlegs by 12 points. There's a bounce forward by Centrals, but Northeast is a great half-back. They bring it out beautifully. They're coming to the grandstand side. Setri's been alive right since he's come on. He'll get the run of that. Green all over him. Waterhouse, and over the line it goes. The crowd, well, they thought it was a free kick. The Bulldogs needs a bit from their run on players at the moment. Girdham and McGowan need to get into it. Smith doing the ruck work there. Setri again throws onto his boot, and Harada should wrap that up, which he does. Get back quick onto Reimers. Reimers with the big kick down, but he's got no one to kick it to. Green under the ball, and coming from behind is number 17 for the Maggies in Benke.
Yes, I felt a bit sorry for Green then, because I think as soon as the kick came in from half-back, Green knew that he didn't have a hope. Anyway, the Magpies go forward again, up toward half-back. Picking it off nicely, though, was a Central District defender. I'll pick him up in a minute. Here's Stevens, battling hard for the football. It's still in play now. It's out of bounds.
There's no doubt that West is getting on top in the centre of the ground. He's creating havoc when he gets the ball from the centre and moving down into the forward area. And that's where they're getting the bulk of their drive just at the moment.
Almost 10 points, almost 10 minutes gone in the third quarter in this big game at Football Park. Close to the line, that'll be out of bounds. So Peter Green there, just having a few words to Carter. And the free kick going to Binky. 45-metre kick down toward left half forward. There's Carter again hustling at left half forward, and the umpire is going to throw it in again. Left half forward, it's 10-11 to 9-7.
It's a boundary throw in. Smith doing good work off the ball there. Kick smothered Ellis into the top of it. Beautiful attack on the ball. Robbie West, good work. McGowan in there. That's tough. The ball gets all over it is Ellis, and there'll be another throw-in. So that's good, tough, hard, exactly how Port wants it. And Jim, the one player that the Dogs would love out there at the moment is Craig Potter.
Yes, he'd be very handy for them. They need a tough man out there at the moment, because Port Adelaide are really applying the pressure now. They've steadily increased as the game progressed.
Beautifully taken by Darren Smith. Setri overran. Beautiful hands by McLeod. West runs into a brick wall. And the Doggies get forward. Jimmy Wine's got the run of it. Ellis, beautifully done. The Doggies are backing up well. Now they've got the run. McGowan through the centre. Should pick off Ingerson. And Mead just sneaks in there. Hands it off to Delaney. Delaney on the right. That's not a good kick. Two of the Dogs spoil each other. Fortunate enough to get hold of it is Lewis on the left foot, and is going to kick it straight down Tim Cook's throat. And the umpire says you can't do that. To Mead, 25-metre penalty.
Well, I reckon it was a bit soft there. It's pretty hard to stop when you're coming in to tackle a player like that.
And there he goes.
Oh, a bit soft.
Absolutely correct. Nothing in that. Tim Cook shouldn't have any problems with this one. He doesn't. And Tim Cook puts through his second. So the Dogs, they kick their first for the term.
Yes, well, he was absolutely committed there when he took that ball, and he had to go on with the tackle. Yeah, there it is there. He had to go on with that, and I couldn't see much in that at all. He was very lucky to get that 20, but I think he could have kicked it from out there too. It wasn't very far.
So Cook gets his second, and it's 10-11 to 10-7. It is a thriller down here at Football Park. 71 plays 67. The Magpies in front. Look at that, Arnold and Mead. Arnold about to storm in from the left, and Mead from the right. Here's Rowan Smith, tackled by Girdham. Mead, cleverly done to Carter. West just took his eye off it. It was a bit awkward for him. Stevens playing at his 100. Oh, well done by Healy. Tried to knock it to the advantage of a teammate. Harada now in trouble. Needs to knock it to the side of the pack. Does so. They've got a chance here. Stevens, Healy showing good pace. Good work by Healy. Long bomb. Ingerson on his chest. 45-degree angle, well out underneath the giant electronic scoreboard. Let's have another look at it.
Yes, this is another beautiful pass by Healy. He's been most impressive today, coming from that half-back flank, letting fly with some magnificent kicks right out in the front of Ingerson again, and no doubt about the result.
Already kicked 3. Oh, he's kicked it very high, won't make the distance. Oh, here's a chance for a goal. No, it was by Wine, who was very energetic there. Peter Green about to help him up, and it was a funny old kick, that one, Jimmy, wasn't it? It went right up in the air.
Yeah, so he got under it. It was on an angle. I mentioned earlier, always notice he likes shooting from directly in front of goals.
Don't we all?
I wouldn't, yeah, but I don't know why they don't give him a run on the ball. It'll liven up around the packs, take a few more marks, give him confidence, and he'll go on kicking goals again.
Delaney, always a prodigious kick, 50 metres straight down. Benke. He's picked through the centre. Who's on Carter? No one. Runs off as easy as you like. Castley should swallow that. Instead it was Wakeland. It's good work by Wakeland.
Doing all right.
But the Dogs plenty in the centre is Stephen Swert. Been a bit quiet.
Made a few mistakes too during the course of the game.
Fabulous player for the Dogs. Now they've got to get it moving on. Peter Green's a target, but there's magpies everywhere. Oh, it fell in his hands. He's kicked it forward. This could bounce anywhere. Delaney, easy as you like, on to Lees. And Lees will come out to this grandstand side with Stevens and Smith as, well, you could say the two Baldies.
Yep.
He's done that beautifully to Tim Ginniver. Well done. Carter's done that beautifully. On to Smith. Well done, Tim Ginniver. And Smith, Green, back to Smith. Melikelis running everywhere. Wakeland and Tyler, beautifully done. Carter's got hold of that. Easy as you like. Terrific stuff by the Bulldogs in defence. Dived onto the ball, Jim, and the ball trickles over the boundary line.
You know, this is where a good centre-half forward proves valuable for a side, with Smith at centre-half forward there. He's been quiet, but he let go with a good hand pass and opened the game up.
Throw in left forward pocket. Chance for Darren Smith if he gets a handle on it. Couldn't. Holding on at the back on Wakeland. Umpire didn't agree. Eventually, McGowan kicks it to Brian Hereda in the back pocket. He's got a man up forward. It is Stevens. He has to. Oh, that's a great mark, Scotty. Had it, lost it, and then got it back again at half-back. Rowan Smith standing the mark. It's a pretty picture, isn't it? Boots it up toward right half forward. Lures outnumbered 2-1. Opportunity for the Magpies through Carter. Now they storm out after him. And the umpire says, Pete, I'll have that back, and I'm going to ball it up at right half forward. Listen to the Magpies and some of the Central District supporters both booing, because I think the Magpies thought there might have been a free kick there, and the Central boys thought that they should have been allowed to run away with it. Here's Rowan Smith, McGowan, Melikelis out of bounds on the western wing.
I'll tell you what, Jim, great work by Wakeland. He's run all the way down from full back and he's practically at the Bulldogs centre-half forward line. And also good work by Tyler, because normally the full forward will just sit back.
Yes, right. Tyler was willing to go up there and present himself.
Girdham, good contest by Ingerson. That spills clear. That is a good handball from Wind. Round the corners, Green had no one to kick it to. Wakeland's down there, but Delaney just backs his judgment beautifully. Magpies everywhere now on the far side. West got up Paddock. Melikelis is running with him. Goes to Shepherd. Misjudges the bounce, and Girdham. Well done, Roger Girdham. He's a fine skipper. Tim Cook's got the ball. Get a move on now. The Dogs have got free players. Healy it is. That raking left foot is kicked straight into Tyler. And, well, both teams at it.
Well, if there's going to be a turning point in the game, this could well be it. Now, this is the type of thing that does really lift the football side. Girdham just persisted, went after the ball, took it off the opponent. He was out in the clear, and then put Central Districts back into attack. Great stuff.
Comments, thank you, Jimmy. Comments from Jimmy Dean. North by 21 points. South Adelaide by 66 points over the Eagles. Updated scores. And, of course, here at Football Park, well, there's not much in it. 68-71. and Port Adelaide lead. It has been a very good game of football as Central District go into attack once again. Ingerson caught to the side. A chance now for Wine, who's down there. Northeast as well. Jimmy Wine tries to get a handle on it out of bounds.
Well, Simon Lewis has been a bit quiet in this third term, Jim.
Yes, after a good first half.
Might need to bring him out, put him back, to full forward and give Ingerson a go across the half-forward line. McGowan in there. So is Malakalis. Gurnham with him all the way, threw the ball away, and Roger Gurnham, you are a star.
That's the type of thing that win football matches. They talk about the little things. Well, I reckon that this player is the best player in South Australian football at the moment at doing the little things that count.
Roger Gurnham kicks to Ingerson, had his hands on it. Peter Green, beautifully read, and kicks it on his left. That is a Rovers goal.
Well, it had to happen there today because every time that Ingerson's been going for the ball, if you notice when we get the replay on that, you'll see about 3 defenders going with Ingerson. The ball ultimately is coming off hands. Central Districts are starting to wake to it now. Immediately that ball came off hands. Green got down, picked it up, one grab and shot it onto the boot for another goal.
Well, he's been threatening, hasn't he, Peter Green? He's pretty excited about that.
Yeah, well, another good fight back by Central. You'd have swore they were gone here a couple of minutes ago.
The Bulldogs lead by 3 points, 74-71. An important passage of play here as Ellis gets it to Arnold, to Schwert, and to Peter Green, who bombs it down ground. Not a good kick. Fiacci sensing the danger. Hand passes to his mate Delaney. And Delaney with a high kick. It's all the Bulldogs, though. Green, in the end, he went for the punch. He knocks it to the boundary line, and there'll be a throw in between half forward and the right forward pocket for Central District. Playing his 100th game today is Scotty Stevens, just barking the instructions. 20 minutes gone. And if you're watching this this afternoon on ABC TV Sport, we hope you're enjoying the telecast. Here's David Green. Short chip pass is okay. Stephen Schwert, 25-year-old. He's almost, he's played almost 150 games. At the back is Ingerson. Gee, it went straight through his hands. Little Ellis in the back pocket. Back he goes and knocked over the line. No, it's still in play. And the umpire didn't blow the whistle, and everyone played to that as the kick by McGowan has missed to the left-hand side.
Well, there's one thing about McGowan. Probably West has got a lot more kicks than he has in the centre of the ground today. But every time McGowan gets it, he does something useful with it, particularly the players that are leading up the ground. Him and Ingerson have combined brilliantly.
Rowan Smith with the ball. He's done well on his wing today. His target is Darren Smith, competed well. Setri read that beautifully. Green on his hammer. Hereda, Stevens. Good work, Adrian Setri. He'll hold it up. And that's what the Magpies would have wanted. There'll be a throw up right on this grandstand wing. Tim Cook's there. Stephen Schwert. Arnold and Smith. This will go down to Setri's throat. Not quite. He's tackled over the line by Arnold.
Yes, players are dropping in and out of the game. As you mentioned, Lures at centre-half forward. Lures at centre-half forward for Central has been blocked out by Lees in this quarter.
Smith's done pretty well in ruck when it's gone across the half-forward line. Peter Green, David Green just runs it over the boundary line. 4 points in it at the 22-minute mark of this third term. And as we said, both sides very tenacious, don't give an inch. Pyman's got the run of this. Setri bounced in his arms. This will go down Tyler's throat. Runs onto it. Well backed up by Casserly. Oh! Thank you very much, McLeod. A.la Peter Dacos on the inside, on the outside of the right boot, and dribbles it through.
I think that's what's going to make him a star, is his anticipation and being able to do things under pressure and do them coolly. You would have swore he was a veteran there as he picked that ball up one grab, and that's another asset of his game which is coming to the fore. He handles the ball brilliantly. He's only been getting limited opportunities today, but every time he gets near the ball, he's got class.
Another player close to Crow's selection too, Jimmy. Well, I say close. He was around about the mark early in the year.
Yep. Yeah, he's starting to fill out now, but he is live wide down in that forward area. 2
points to margin, the Magpies lead. This has been one heck of a football game. Out of the centre goes Angove. High one, gained about 30 metres. Waterhouse in front, or not in front, he was in the middle of the pack actually. Here's Ginnivan. At the back is Casserly. Oh, Casserly taking a bit of a risk there. Should have grabbed it, surely. Pyman. Now Wakeland. He's probably the most experienced of those players. Short passes on to Healy. Left half back for the Bulldogs. Short pass. Oh, gee, that was meant for Schwert and Timmy Ginnivan. He wasn't able to wrap it up, but he's going to get at the skipper. And then short passes it, looking for Waterhouse. At the back is Huey Reimers. I got a feeling that something big's about to happen as far as Port Adelaide is concerned. If McLeod can just get a handle on it, he couldn't do so. And eventually Stevens is going to get the free kick. He gives it back to Wakeland, and Wakeland bangs it away from the half-back line. Chance for Smith. That was Darren Smith. Now to Rowan Smith, who squares the footy, and a fine mark in defence, and one that had to be taken, Jimmy, by Wakeland.
He's very close to getting the best player for Port Adelaide at the moment. Hasn't put a foot wrong since quarter time.
Wakeland. Now Schwert. The Bulldogs trying to mount something at the moment. They've got nothing up forward. They're going very wide onto Ellis. That's good work by North East. He's tough. You won't get an easy kick on that man. And a boundary line throw-in is the result. Nearly at the 25-minute mark. Mead and Arnold. Tim Ginnivan, good work there. Gets it on quickly. Angove. Beautifully run down. Is that holding the ball? Yes, it is. Umpire's called a halt to that. And young Healy.
Yes, I've been impressed with young Healy today. The all-round games there, he's a magnificent kick, as he's shown us on several occasions. But there again, tackling, fierce tackle, not frightened to meet him front on.
Ingerson up at that one. Well, the Bulldogs struggling across half forward at the moment. Need to get a bit out of Lurs, Peter Green and Ingerson. And they have made the move. Lurs is now at full forward, and Ingerson has gone to centre half forward. Schwert's going to run onto this one. North East right on his tail, cleverly to Cook, intercepted by North East. Ginnivan does the good work in there, backing up all the time, and another boundary line will result.
Yes, well, I suppose a move had to be made because they've lost a lot of firepower across that half-forward line here in this third quarter, but they've been able to go over the top down to the full-forward area. I think the idea is for Ingerson to take marks for them at centre-half forward.
The Magpies in front by 2 points. Here's Green, here's Ginnivan laterally. He goes to Rowan Smith, and then straight down the middle to West. And look at West go. He takes 2 bounces, or one it may have been. I can't count. And West kick, not a very good one under the circumstances, because it's all Central District, or it was initially. Now Reimers caught in a tackle. Casserly likewise. Free kick, Casserly. Crowd don't like it, the Magpie supporters don't anyway. The 20-year-old's got it in the back pocket.
Don't know what for.
Holding on, I guess, against McLeod. And Casserly's kick to Peter Green through his hands. Mead under pressure. Ginnivan getting a million touches in this quarter.
There's a bit of a blue on here. Green and Carter, they've been at it all day. And reserve umpire just out to settle that one down.
Well, it's been like that all day. The crowd's excited, and so they should be, because it's been a classical exhibition of football all round.
Arnold and Mead. Schwert chips in. Ellis quickly. Good hands, McGowan. Green slips over at the unopportune time. Benke free kick down the ground. Ridden into the ground by Girdham, I think it was.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
And the Bulldogs just need to settle a little bit. Port Adelaide just a little bit more experience, starting to get going. Angove boots it down. Tyler's got the sit behind. And Wakeland, Ingerson drops an easy one. Olsen, is it? Yes, it is! And Olsen puts through the Magpies 12th.
There's been some encouraging performances by young players here today, and Olsen's another one that's caught the eye. He's playing on a half-forward flank and gets limited opportunities out there, but he proved that he's an opportunist. He followed that ball down. It was Ingerson that fumbled the mark, should have taken it because he wasn't under that much pressure. But Olsen picked it up and popped it through, and Port Adelaide are going right on with the job now.
Well, the Magpies lead by 8 points. North Adelaide by 16 points over West Adelaide. South Adelaide by 72 points over the Eagles. Down ground again for the Magpies. Norwood by 9 points against the Double Blues. Here's Olsen, here's Darren Smith now at centre-half forward. He was in all sorts of trouble. He was under enormous pressure. And Schwerty's going to clear it after McGowan hand pass to him. Now over to Arnold. Opportunity for Schwert again, downfield, pushing the back. No question of that. Well, that is unbelievable. I don't believe that.
Well, he put it on. I think it was there.
Oh, what? Oh, have a look at this. Have a look at this, Jimmy. What?
Yeah, Michael thinks it's an Academy Award job. Oh, I turn it up. Like that was right in the middle of the back.
You're kidding, aren't you? I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Well, the umpire agrees with me.
There's no doubt about that.
Let's have another look. This is back cam.
Oh.
He's doing, what is that, Greg Louganis dive there?
Roger better buy a lottery ticket, I think.
Port Adelaide by 8 points. Well into time on.
The luckiest thing that's
that
happened.
might be out on the full. Yes, it is. Unfortunately for Anthony Ingerson. Olsen into the skipper. Tyler, this is going to... Waterhouse has just popped in. I thought Tyler had the run of it. Popped in front of Huey Remus. And Clive Waterhouse hasn't played a lot of games, but isn't a bad player. 4 games to beat. In fact, a blonde bomber. He's kicked that.
Yep. I can give you a tip about that player too. He's going to get better and better because he's got it all. He's very strong. He can take a mark overhead. He plays the defensive position well too when the ball is in the forward area, and above all, down in that forward area, he can kick goals when the pressure's really on.
I tell you what, he's efficient on his left as he is on his right.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't know which foot he kicks with on most occasions. When he's on the move, he kicks with his left foot, and from standing shots, it's the right foot.
13-11 to 11-9. 14 points the margin. Waterhouse had a couple of opportunities in the first quarter too. He messed them up, although they weren't easy. Here's West, who's a very good player from Footscray. Mead, cleverly done. Olsen, high kick. Here they go again. Crowd starting to really whip themselves into a frenzy. And the mark on the chest has been taken by Taylor.
You wouldn't read about this.
Have another look at this, Jim. Was this a push?
Well, you know, they're getting away with those sort of things now, but in my opinion, it's definitely a push in the back because the player's off balance and can't get back to contest.
Okay, here he is. Tyler has already kicked 3, an important one here. This for a 20-point lead at 3/4 time. Kick on its way. It is straight as a gun barrel. Straight as a gun barrel, and that is a big lead now in the context of this game because it's been nip and tuck. It's 20 points the margin, 95 to 75, 3/4 time. The mighty Magpies lead by 20 points. They might lead by 26 shortly as Malakalis has kicked those down ground. Oh, here we go. Waterhouse. Clive Waterhouse, do you mind? The margin 26 points. Jimmy D.
So Port Adelaide have got a sniff now from the centre of the ground. They're on fire. They just got that ball away. And I think you've got to remember that as this game has progressed, that breeze has been getting stronger, and Port Adelaide are coming home with the breeze in the last quarter when the wind is at its strongest and they are at their best.
Great start for the Magpies. Waterhouse, a big goal there, his second, one of the most important in this game.
Oh, come on, the Bulldogs. They better do something if they want to keep in this game. Arnold and Mead. Been a good contest, that. Arnold will get this one. Thumps that forward. Laws running onto that. It's been a bit quiet. Now McGowan around the body will pick off Cook. Fiachi there with him. Great work, George. Over the boundary line it goes. And that's one thing about the Port defence. You have to earn your kicks, particularly through Delaney, Northeast and Fiachi.
Yeah, they say an old dog for a hard road, and these two are superb in situations just as they're in now.
Mead with the tap there. Quick kick by Schwert. There's George in front. Quick kick on straight to McGowan. And McGowan on to Arnold, is it? Richardson's on the ground. Takes a great grab in front on Benke.
Yes, he came on late in that third quarter, Michael.
Makes you think why he wasn't on earlier, Mike.
His form hasn't been that good, Jimmy.
No.
Started on the bench.
There, he got in front there and held that ball very safely overhead.
Well, 25-minute penalty by the look of things. So Jack Carr wouldn't be too happy with that. So it brings him to within about 10 metres. On a very acute angle. He'll go back to the wing and have a kick. Does Richo. Well, the Bulldogs need this one. Thank you very much. No problems there.
Well, that gives them a slight sniff now. Port Adelaide was certainly on fire, but they got the ball away from the centre of the ground through Arnold, getting back into form. Got a direct knock away from the centre of the ground. They attacked and got that goal. Now we'll see what they're really made of, because this is a sort of standard of a game that they're going to play if they get into the finals.
Well, they've got terrible memories from the finals last year, Central, and they lead by, or Port lead by 20 points, so the Bulldogs still with some work to be done. Mead and Arnold, an important one. Here's Mead on hands and knees. McGowan fossicking in there. Eventually it comes to Darren Smith and Hereda. Hereda knocks it cleverly to Green, who goes back, and a good hand pass too. Reimers short one is very good to Peter Green in front of Carter. They've had an interesting battle, those two, right throughout this big football game on ABC TV Sport. Here's Lees at the back, and then just gives it to the back pocket, George Fiarchi. Now McLeod, who kicked a brilliant goal in the third quarter. McLeod with good distance. Underneath it, Melachillis. Two short players down there. One of them is Casserly looking after the Rovers. Hand pass was a little loose. Here's Healy. Somehow, no, the hand pass was astray because McLeod snaffled it. His hand pass wasn't good either. Arnold gives it to Green, and now David Green smack bang in the middle of Football Park. Long kick, Peter Green. No, he showed good commitment there because they were coming at him from all angles. Binky, back it goes towards centre wing on this western side. Almost the mark taken down there, but the umpire said no. The player didn't hold on to it long enough, and there'll be a ball up.
Well, the pressure's on there, Jim, at the moment. Both sides very desperate.
This is the big test for both of them, but as you said earlier, Port Adelaide have got the experience. They've been in dozens of situations like this and got out of it all right, and I'm quite sure that they'll do the same here today because they've got the assistance of that breeze.
Who are you tipping, Jim?
I'm tipping Port Adelaide.
You're tipping Port, right, fair enough. Michael?
Port Adelaide at this stage, I'd be very surprised to see them when they get in a position like this to get done.
Done well, haven't they, considering they've got about 6 or 7 key players out, including Hodges and Hutton. And, Anthony Darcy, their centreman.
Williams.
Yeah.
Beautifully worked by Jennifer onto Smith. He's come into it in this second half. Tyler out in front. And that is a free kick. Yes, it is. Would have grabbed it, but Wakeland's pushed him away.
Yes, that's where centre-half forwards are so strong. When they get the ball in these tight situations, put the ball out in front there for Tyler to take that mark. And Smith, although he didn't play well early, he was always there pushing the ball out, and the players were able to crumb off him when the ball hit his hands in the middle of the pack.
Tyler's kicked 4. Should make the distance on this one. Puts it up and looks good from here. Yes, it is. He beats the Magpies 16th. And they go on, number 5.
Yes, well, how lucky are Port Adelaide, though, to have a stand-in like that for Hodges. Hodges broke his leg, and it was certainly a tragedy, and many thought that that might have been the end of Port Adelaide. No one down there to kick goals, but Tyler proved that he could do that. It was only a couple of seasons ago where he kicked 90 goals, and he makes the most of every opportunity.
North by 17 points over West.
And the Panthers 75 points, I should say, on the Eagles.
And Norwood by 5 points over Sturt. So as Stephen Trigg said earlier, big chance for Sturt to win their first game of the year. Here's Arnold now booting it down toward Peter Green territory. Carter with him. Peter Green knocks it across to Lewis, who's in trouble. He tries to knock it to the side of the pack. Rowan Smith in there as well, trying to pick up the football. Now Carter working back in defence. And the ball to be thrown in at right half forward. Sturt Norwood score was still 3/4 time. Just running a little late there. There's Carter, Mead, and also Lewis. Rowan Smith, good vision. Ginniver, short chip pass is okay to D. Smith, who is lifting. And Setri, who's been inspirational on a couple of occasions at the back, as Waterhouse, who is very good. He's a pretty good player, this boy. He's only young, relatively inexperienced, and that one out of bounds on the full. But Jimmy's shown enough, hasn't he?
Oh, he's going to be a player of the future, there's no doubt about it, because he's got everything you need to succeed in league football. And certainly courage is most important for these younger players now, and he showed today that he's got plenty of that.
Wakeland to bring it in.
McGowan off. Ricky McGowan off. And Cotton on. I just get the feeling McGowan might be limping slightly, Michael.
Yes, 7.5-minute mark of this third term. Waterhouse again brings it back, kicks it in the same position as he did last time, out on the full. So Wakeland will bring it in again. And the Dogs can't get anything moving. Schwert, Stevens, McGowan, and to a lesser extent Girdham have dropped out of the game. They're key players, they're senior players. Wakeland boots it in. Arnold in front. And takes a good, strong mark. He's got no one to kick it to. Goes back into the centre and has picked Cotton as he came on for McGowan. Into the fray right from the word go. Has that funny drop. Looking for Lewis, but in front was Carter. Now through northeast. Robbie West underneath that. Thank you.
It's always
been a star.
Sorry, Michael. Always courageous, that, isn't it?
It is, and look at this, straight down the throat of Olsen. Not a defender in sight. Could have turned around a tad quicker, but the Magpies on fire.
Yes, again, West in the centre of the ground. He's been very productive there. His kicking may have been astray in field play earlier in the game, but he's certainly on target now.
Olsen bangs it through. And Port Adelaide go from strength to strength, totally outclassing the Bulldogs at this stage.
Well, I don't think the umpire will have much doubt about the best player on the ground today. It's been West in the centre. He's absolutely dominated from that situation. He was the player I felt that gave him that enormous lift in the latter stages of the third quarter from the centre, breaking away and kicking the ball deep into the forward area. He's using the ball exceptionally well.
Comments from Jimmy Dean, 32 points this margin now, 17-11, plays 12-9, so it's getting to the desperate stage as far as the Bulldogs are concerned. The whistle goes in the centre, and the free kick is going to the giant Port Adelaide ruckman in Mead, who's had a very good season in that position. Many say he is an AFL player in the making. His kick from the middle toward right half forward. The target down there was Olsen, but the mark has been taken by Reimers. No, it's Pyman, in fact. Reimers is about 1.5 foot taller. Pyman's kick, he goes laterally to Cotton. Ango standing the mark, just jumping around like a jumping bean, really. There's that unusual kicking style, isn't it, by Cotton? And right over the top is Mead doing some good positive stuff. Darren Mead, the 24-year-old who's heading toward 100 games. 32 points, Central trail, so they need to get cracking because the Magpies, with a sniff, or more than a sniff really, they're comfortable at this point. Still plenty of time to go, about 20 minutes or so. We're 11 minutes into the last quarter in this big clash, this huge match between Port Adelaide and Central District.
Right at centre wing, beautifully smothered by Schwert. George right with him, falls on top of him. The umpire will call a bounce up. And that's what the Port defence do. They're at you and at you.
How much is the fact that Coffey didn't play unbalanced the team, Michael?
Well, it could have unbalanced them to a certain extent, but with the way Port play, you've got to get it down. And they're not getting it down there enough. Mind you, with a couple of the Ingersons have missed early, Grant Coffey would have certainly made the distance. So he might be worth a couple, 2 or 3 at this stage. Boundary throw in. Smith with Arnold. Well done, Smith. Here's George. Boots it down, but Brian Harada there by himself. Will play on. No, he won't. And that's what Port's done very well. They've held them up. And they're very indirect today, the Bulldogs. Over to Wakeland. Wakeland will now go to Reimers. Stevens now free. Now they can build something.
Yeah.
He's on the outer wing. He'll go for a bounce. No, he doesn't. Looking for Ingerston. And one hand up. Doesn't quite grab that. Richardson's in there. Good hands on to Cook. Cook back to Lewis. They're going round about. Now, Stevens has come down on his left. He's put it up. It's not going to make it. And through the hands of Benke. So the Bulldogs get it behind, but they want goals at the minute.
Yes, well, Stevens has been in and out of the game, but I've got to say one thing about him. When he gets into the game, he's devastating with that left foot of his. He kicks the ball deep and long into the forward line. But he's a bit too far out there. He's kicking against the breeze. Port Adelaide have got everything going for them. They've got the assistance of a breeze. It would be worth about 2 or 3 goals here in this last quarter.
31 points, Port Adelaide lead. There's Binky, fine mark taken by Brian Binky. Sots down, Guernsey out, kick toward the wing. Up goes Pyman, Setri there as well. So too Harada, the 219, Setri in again. Cotton's 44. 31 points. Gee, it's a handy break now, isn't it? As the time clock ticks away. Setri. Just need a spark, the Bulldogs. They need someone to pull something out of the hat. That's Waterhouse, who is very good. So is this young star. McLeod downfield looking for Tyler. He's got it back now, running into the forward pocket. Engo runs onto the football and then runs after it and then runs over it. A chance for Casserly, got it from Cotton. And Casserly steadies the ship. He goes out wide, but the ship is listing rather badly and they need to really set it right. Over the top goes Stevens. Chance for Harada to go back and give it to Reimers. They didn't gain a lot out of that, about 4 or 5 possessions. Now eventually they gain good meterage onto the half-back flank. And this is Scotty Stevens.
Scotty Stevens, number 100. 100th game, that is. Kicks it forward, but northeast. Ever reliable. Plays on just that awkward kicking style to Setri. Now Setri's been good coming off the bench. Onto the skipper in Geneva. And he's looking for Waterhouse. Yes, thank you. Into the back is Reimers. So Clive Waterhouse has had a good day out. Kicked 2. A handful of games, as we've said.
Yes, and Setri has made an enormous difference to Port Adelaide. He gave them a real lift when he came on around that half-forward area. Kicked a couple of goals early, but continued to play well.
Clive Waterhouse, 40 metres out on an acute angle. Going with a slight breeze on that right foot of his. Doesn't look bad. Hit the post.
Yes, well, I think he's a star of the future. There's no doubt about that. As I've mentioned, he's playing in a difficult position out on that half-forward flank or in the forward pocket. It's
North Adelaide by 35 points over West Adelaide. South Adelaide spifflicating the Eagles, 75 points the margin there. And Norwood by 7 points. I believe that still is 3/4 time, but I'll just double check that. Just started the last quarter there, so 7 points the margin. Michael?
Cotton on the centre wing. Kicks to Lewis. Oh, great grab. Got to move it on. He's got Casserly that's made the move. He's looking for that player, but Northeast has just snuck in there. Geneva, good work. Carter back to Geneva. Slams it on the boots quickly. And Cotton, thanks very much, Roger. We'll take that. Got to get it on. Kicks it. It's going to load out of the square. Not a good attack on the green. Geneva in there, on to Carter, now on to Smith. The back line have worked very well. Scoots it along the ground and that'll run out of bounds. And Jim, the Port Adelaide back line, although they say is too slow, Gee, they work well together.
Oh, there's no doubt about them. They're very strong there. They back each other. In the last line of defence it all starts from, and they finish up attacking from there on most occasions.
32 points, Port Adelaide's lead. And we've played 16 minutes of the last term, so Central District certainly need a couple of goals, and they need them very quickly as Angove runs onto the football and Carter now receives. Couldn't quite pick up. As a result, kicked it off the ground and gained about 25 metres. Olsen being harassed by Girdham, who has played very well. Good solid work by Reimers. Now Wakeland down ground. Have a look at this. McLeod, have a look at him. Bang! He's a great player, McLeod. He might just be short of AFL quality at this point, Jimmy, but he is a terrific player in this comp.
Well, he's an exciting player. You can see the crowd really lift when he gets near the ball because you know that something unusual is going to happen. He gains control of it when he's in full flight, and he never misses when he's having a shot for goal. D. Smith off the ground today, and that's why I reckon Harada's got to be high up in Central's better players, because with Port Adelaide well in control, he's been on top of Smith, and that's no mean feat with the ball coming into the forward line as often as it has today.
Here's Smith having a rest. Don't need him for the rest of the day. And Port Adelaide, well, in these big games, they know how to perform. Arnold takes it out of ruck, kicks straight to Roland Smith. Easy as you like, kicks it straight down the ground, and Waterhouse, thank you very much.
Isn't Huey Reimers having a shocking second half?
Look at this, Malakalis, easy as you like. Great work, Port Adelaide. And I think as Mead comes off the ground for a rest, Damien Ryan comes on.
So Mead on.
Maracallis received that part, but Port Adelaide are on top in just about every position on the ground at the moment. It seems to me that though Centrals are tired, you might hear stories about them that Port Adelaide were too strong for them. They were in a way because they belted them off their ground, and that's tired them out because they've got no run left in their legs now, and Port Adelaide are making the most of every opportunity, whipping the ball away from the centre of the ground. Mead came off there after a while, and what a duel that has been today in the centre with him and Arnold, centre bounces and boundary throw-ins. They've wrestled hard all day, and it was a pretty even contest.
Comments from Jimmy Dean. 1 goal to Tony Malakalis. Damien Ryan on the field now, 19-12 to 12-10, and one gets the feeling the Magpies are about to win their 3rd in a row after a terrible start to the season. I'm sure Magpie supporters won't want to even think about that match against Glenelg. There's Girdham doing some fairly tough stuff there. Girdham in again. He hasn't given up trying. Stephen Swert eludes an oncoming Port Adelaide player, then squares the footy, looking for Cook. Here's Setri working back well in defence. Oh, Roger the Dodger. Well, he just was sort of going half pace then, wasn't he? Short chip out wide. Opportunity for Wade, and now Waterhouse. He's very exciting, but he got run down. Huey Reimers got him there. And I hope I wasn't too harsh on Reimers, but Waterhouse has been very good. Reimers gives it to Healy. Chips it, not good. Green was the target. The skipper's got it for the Magpies. He was a guest last week on the Aussie Footy Show. He was a sensation too with Stephen Trigg. Here's West. Short. Olsen. Well, they're chopping them up, Jimmy.
Oh, yes, they've belted them now. They've got control, as I've mentioned, in every position of the ground. I should say that Waterhouse would get plenty of McGarry medal votes, Mike, because of his blonde hair. The umpires like blonde hair, don't they?
Well, they like something, Jim.
Here's Olsen. You might have to go off the... I'll talk about that in a minute. Here's Olsen's kick, and he keeps it low, and he has... What's he done? He's missed it, I think. Yes. Jimmy, you might have to go off with a blood rule. You've shed blood.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Bleeding for the... for Channel 2.
You okay?
Yeah.
Well done.
Brand new.
Not sure about the book now. Anyway, here's Healy. Just keep your distance, Jimmy. Green. Angove. Now at the back, here's Wade, who's done a couple of things. Hasn't played a full game, though. And there's a free, and it's going Cotton's way. And Cotton will take that. Just a short pass. Stevens. Awkward one. should be wrapped up by the defence of the Magpies, and Binky storms away. McLeod, he's so skillful, isn't he? Just take a bit of time and have a look at this, because he is going to be very good. What about that for a kick to Setri?
Top shelf.
Terrific, Jimmy, wasn't it?
Yes, change of pace, nice balance.
And I wonder whether Robert Shaw's watching this live. He'll probably watch the tape, but
You don't see much better than that. And don't forget, it's a pressure game here today, and he's performed admirably.
I'm sure if Robert Shaw, the Crows coach, was watching then, he would have been impressed. Here's Setri's kick from pretty well smack bang in front. He's drilled it through. Now, this is disappointing now, Jimmy, isn't it, from Central's point of view, because they are letting Port get right away.
Yeah, they put up a good fight in the first half of the game, but there's a player that I think had a lot to do with Port's turnaround since half-time, Setri, and I think I could just about guarantee that he won't be starting on the bench in future, because he's been high up in Port Adelaide's best players, and they're always doing something constructive.
Good vision there by McLeod, and Setri didn't let him down. Yes, he's been a bit of a fringe player, Setri, hasn't he?
Yep.
But
when he goes, he goes. He was dynamite when he came on in that second quarter. He kicked 2 quick goals, and it changed the course of the game.
Well, he certainly exploded then, didn't he? 2013 to 12-10. And, well, they're really making a mess of the Bulldogs here. As Girdham, who's fighting hard for his side. David Green, Fiachi, just lost sight of it there. Peter Green from Carlton, Cook. Now Schwert, they haven't given a yelp, and look at that, Lee's just waiting back, and he took it gleefully. He just stood there, didn't he, Jimmy, and it took it on the chest. He didn't have to do too much. It was a pinpoint kick, really.
Oh, this is lovely to watch now. Port Adelaide are in full flight.
Yes, Ginniver's kick to Olsen. Olsen's delivery there, not good. And it'll be chopped out by Casserly, who runs across half-back, and then he's got a couple he's spotted. Oh, Swirty. Dear, oh dear. You're a bit lucky there, son. And Hereda with an awkward one. Wasn't easy at all for his forwards. Northeast, Rowan Smith. Stevens running around him, but unsuccessfully. Here's Roger Delaney. I bet you he's keen to get down forward and kick a goal late in this quarter. He's done that a few times when Port Adelaide have been well on top in a match.
Fiachi likes doing the same thing.
Yep. Jimmy Wind, who, as Jimmy said, has been pretty quiet since half-time. Cotton. Hard to keep it up, though, isn't it, Jimmy? I mean, he's been such a great player for them this year. Here's Ryan. Ginniver never gives up. He's tireless. Short chip is OK to Olsen. Over the top, spots a player, gives it to West, who's very exciting. From right half forward, West down to D. Smith, back on the ground. Well done, Darren. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Taken from the field, Jimmy. Comes on and takes a beauty.
Yeah, he played pretty well too in when Port Adelaide got on top in that third quarter. It's an important position, centre half forward. He's always been there, and he does create opportunities for players that are coming down the ground.
So Darren is a 30-year-old. He hasn't kicked a goal so far today, but he's been a marvellous player for the Magpies. He'd love to kick this late in the term, and D. Smith has belted it through.
Yes, well, there you are. They've got it in all positions on the ground, Port Adelaide. But that last line of defence today has been superb. Fiachi, Delaney and a young player in Binky. And then across the half-back line, they've had Carter, who meets the ball strongly. Lee's at centre half-back. And, of course, Northeast has been nothing short of superb on the other half-back flank. And then if you throw that in with the talented young players, Waterhouse and McLeod, that Port Adelaide has unearthed, Port Adelaide look as though, again, they're going to be a formidable side, and certainly at this stage favourites for the premiership.
Well, the Eagles getting a belting today too,
Yeah,
Jimmy.
well, they're gone. I reckon the Eagles are gone now.
They've lost a lot of players, haven't they?
Yes,
Here's
they
D.
have.
Smith again, and but the free kick will go back to Hereda. A few people leaving in front of us now. I don't think they'd be Port supporters, because the Magpie supporters generally do stay right to the end, win, lose or draw. So we've got some updates from other matches in the SANFL. North Adelaide lead by 43 points, Jimmy. They've whipped away from West. South Adelaide by 64 points over the Eagles, and Norwood by 6 points. Down ground, here's Tim Ginniver standing underneath it. The skipper takes it.
Yeah, another player. See, they've got that beautiful blending now of experience and youth in the side, and they're combining so magnificently.
Call this one for us, Jimmy.
Oh, well, Ginniver going back now, and the way they're going, they'll go in from anywhere. Yes, that one snuck in for another goal for Port Adelaide. It doesn't matter where they get the ball now. All they've got to do is kick it up in the air, and their luck will do the rest for them. But they say you make your own luck, and that's what Port Adelaide have done today. They've attacked the ball front on, attacked the players and the body for the Central District side, belted them aside, and now have taken complete charge of the game.
3 goals to Tim Ginniver, a captain's knock, and he's pretty pleased, isn't he?
Yes, he's been good too. As I mentioned, so much experience for them there. And the centre bounces in the early stage of the game. Arnold was getting that ball away quite cleanly for Central Districts, but it's swayed now and Port Adelaide are on top.
Well, there's Arnold, but that hand pass missed the mark. And the ball down ground. Oh, up goes Waterhouse. He is a spectacular player. So too's this young man. What about that? What about that for a hand pass? And West nails it.
Yep.
Oh, 3 great players there, Jimmy, weren't they?
There's no doubt about that, boy. He's so composed, talented, and he gets into nicer balance and shoots those hand passes out, the foot passes, and Port Adelaide are taking advantage of it now. But still, when you're on top like this, it's pretty easy to do these sort of things. When the game was tight and tough in the early stages of the game, we didn't see too much of that flash play by Port Adelaide, but now they've softened Central Districts up. They're going right on with the job.
23-13 to 12-10. 27 minutes in the last term. If you've just joined us on ABC TV Sport, there was 9 points in it at half-time, and Central led. But it has been a complete rout in the second half as far as Port Adelaide is concerned. There's Mellikellis. And to think they're doing it without the likes of Hodges, Williams, Hutton. They are playing inspiring football here. Good mark at the back there, taken by one of the shortest players on the field. That's Casserly. Umpire says play on. Ginniver goes from one man to another. Out to deep, and that's Green. Yes, they've got so many out. It's been an